You think you know about relationships, but you're wrong. Listen, there's no magic bullet. I'm teaching life skills. You sick? You need medicine. It don't always taste good. Nah.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
You need this medicine. It ain't gonna always taste good. But this is what you need. Men and women, bottom line, we need to have the conversation. Your partner wants to give up control, but only if you know how to drive. This is about being the best you could ever be, whoever you are. I don't care if you're a man, a woman, LGBTQ, space alien. I'll save anybody. I don't care. I'll teach a hedgehog how to have a threesome.
What do you mean by that?
Look, you don't have to listen to me. You're wrong. Listen, I know I'm great. And I know you're thinking, Dante, there's no way I could be like you. But you could be me, you know why? Because you know who I was? Before I was me, I was you. Oh, I'm not an alpha male. I'm not a beta male either. I'm just a beta male. Put your happiness first, because if you don't, they will.
Ew. GYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, what would Dante do? Sexual Revolution being podcasted. What's going on? What's going on here? Hold on. Why am I getting double? This is not good. All right, hold on. What up, people? Audio. Oh, that's the problem. Here we go. Let's go. Yo, if y'all can hear me. Oh, God, here we I know why I'm getting doubles. Let me see. What's going on, my people? Let me figure this out real quick. Audio. Getting a little delay here. Can y'all hear me good? Can y'all hear me good? Can you hear me? Everything sound good? If y'all guys sound good, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Cool. What's up, my people? It's good to be here. Good to be here. Good to be seen.
Put your happiness first.
Let's see if that works. Yeah. I don't know why that's playing. Hello? Yeah. Okay. Why is this working? Let me just go into the systems. What up, my people? What up, my people? I ain't been in the home studio for a minute, so give me a little let's see if that works. Testing 1, 2. How we sound, y'all? How we sound? Nice and clear. If you got nice and clear, give me a thumbs up, please. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if you hear me nice and clear. Waiting for thumbs up from somebody. I made a few changes in the settings. All right, cool. What up, people? What up? It's good to be back. Good to be here. Good to be seen. Thank you, y'all, who checked in on the short notice. I'm sorry I'm late, but it happened. I haven't been at the in the home studio because we've been at the spot. I've been traveling with Godfrey and whatnot, and it gets a little crazy every once in a while, if you know what I'm saying. But it's dope. It's dope. It's good to be back. Good to be seen. How many people checked out the manosphere. Trixie, what's up, baby? How you doing? What up, Jeffrey? What's poppin'? Sleepies. Let's see who's in the chat. Handler 22134. Deshaun, what's going on? The great and powerful. Ahmed, what up, baby? How you doing? Chat's up. The Cash App is up. Everything's up. Let me get the number up just in case. I was just wondering if anybody saw the Manosphere thing on Netflix. If you did, don't call and y'all want to chat about it, call me. I'd love to chat about it. What's interesting about that is wrong number, my bad. Shit, sorry fellas. Wrong goddamn number. There we go. Phone lines are up, ready and waiting. Anybody that's seen the Manosphere thing on Netflix, I want to talk about that. I got a lot of interesting insights about that. Also, I'm actually thinking about rebranding the name. Same content and stuff, but I would like to make it more woman friendly. I would like this to be a space where we we can talk to where men and women both can kind of go back and forth in there. I think that's important. I'm a firm believer. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a firm believer that in order to fix the relationship, you got to fix the men. And that's no offense to the women at all. I'm not saying that they're not capable, but I think there is a the thing about this is because we got Trixie in the building, so I don't want her to feel as though she's not being serviced, as I would put. It's just the reason why I feel like it's such an important thing to understand that you have to fix the relationship from the guy's perspective. It's because if you've ever seen women have gone through this potentially a lot. If women have said where some nice guy is dating a woman or trying to date a woman or he's trying to get a date, and in the interim of him trying to get a date, the friends are like, "Oh, he's nice. He's such a nice guy. You should you they're like you should you really should be you give him a chance. Why don't you give him a chance? How come you won't give him a chance?" And the problem is the problem overall is that you can't like if you're dealing with a woman that you can't handle, that you can't emotionally or intellectually handle, and her friends are telling you, give this dude a chance. He's such a nice guy. Give him a shot. Come on, he's a good guy. In essence, what they're saying is you're asking the woman, to be less of herself. There's this whole online, this whole manosphere thing. Everybody's talking about everybody's talking about like you hear this all the time, how women they need to be feminine and women need to be more feminine and agreeable and which is interesting because I don't have that problem. I just don't have that problem with women. I don't care how aggressive she is or how aggressive she's not, because of the fact that intellectually I can match her, right? Socially I can match her, and I'm also not going to tolerate certain behavior. Understand something. This is something that Punisher talks about all the time. He always talks about hypergamy and how hypergamy is where a woman, let me look that up. I want to look that up and get the exact definition for what hypergamy is. I don't want to quote it. To get a definition for that. Hypergamy. Okay, it's the action of marrying or forming sexual relationship with a person of superior sociological or educational background. So I've said this all the time. I go, listen, if women only find the men attracted to them who are better than them. Now, when I say better, you may not feel like that you may not feel like you're better than them, but um better is what the woman decides is better. Depends on what she needs. It depends on what she thinks is. How's the audio? The audio's not good? Is the audio good? Give me a thumbs up if there was somebody in the chat's talking about the audio. The audio's good. Give me a hollow. Give me a thumbs up, please. Okay. But what'll happen is a woman is okay. Thanks, classic Kelvin. What happens is you can't ask a woman to lessen herself to give you an opportunity because she's always gonna be. What's up, Camille? How you doing? Um, there's always gonna be a situation where, overall, because of the fact that the woman is intelligent or she's financial or whatever it is, um, you're in a situation where you have to go. You can't ask a woman to lessen herself. You can't ask her to give you an opportunity. If Camille, what happened? Uh, you can't ask a woman to be lesser than she is. You got to meet her where she's at and even surpass yourself. Surpass what her needs are. Nobody wants it. You know how you hear women say this all the time? I can do bad by myself. And I'm not saying that you necessarily, if she has a bunch of degrees or she's got money, but what she thinks is important to her, you're not gonna if you don't match that, at least match or surpass her in those things, you're just not gonna get an opportunity, and she's always gonna feel as though she's settling. Now there's a lot of situations where we there's a lot of situations where kind of we're in a situation where you're talking to a woman and you have to be the guy that she wants you to be. If you're not the guy that she wants you to be, um, you're not going to see prospectively. Um, you're just not going to get that attraction. It's the same thing with a guy, but a guy we do it based on the physical. We do it based on the physical attributes. So when we're looking at somebody, she's physically attracted to us, and because she's physically attractive to us, she qualifies for our attention. Um, I think also what happens though, and I find this to happen with me as well. Now just because you're attractive, um, I can if you're attractive, that's not enough. If you're attractive and dumb, I'm sorry, I just don't have the time. I don't have the time to, I don't expect any woman to be intellectually on the same level as me. And I really don't mind if she's even, smarter than me in certain things. I mean, I love to learn something, but at the core, a woman is asking a woman to date you when she doesn't feel like you're better than her is asking a guy to date a girl who is less physically attractive, somebody who he doesn't aesthetically feel is attractive to him. And we don't do that. Phone lines is in. Let's see how the phone is working.
From Lavi.
What's up, Lobby? What's going on?
What's going on, Dante?
How you been, bro? It's good to be on today. I've been working on this all day trying to figure out the home studio. I haven't been in here in a while. I've just been traveling.
Uh,
What's up, bro? How can I help you?
the audio sounds good, by the way. I don't hear any problems personally,
Oh,
but
cool. I'm doing a wireless mic today so I can relax and I can chill in my nice chair, but just be more relaxed. But what's going on?
so I'm calling because it's semi-related to what's going on with what you're talking about in the manosphere. I have a cousin, and I've known him his entire life. He doesn't have a viable. He has a father, and his father's a fucking narcissist, and
Right.
he's not the kind of man that could teach him how to grow up to be somebody that would be, following Ace or whatever. And I'm not active in his life as maybe as much as I should be.
How
And
old is he?
he's 13. He just turned 13.
Oh,
He's
wow.
real young.
This is a perfect time, too.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. But I'm also worried that maybe it's a little too late because he's starting to get indoctrinated into this fucking. It's beyond the manosphere. It's this weird like looks maxing culture that's like even more toxic, even like more sociopathic than the manosphere stuff. I don't know if you're aware about any of this yet.
What are we talking about? You're not talking about the gropers. Big shout to Sleepy's. Nah, Godfrey's on the road today. He's doing his other podcast in Cali. But go ahead. I'm not sure what you mean. Explain.
So it's just like I guess a subset of the manosphere, like it's this group of guys who believe that maximizing your physical appearance is the most important thing. And they'll go to these extremes and have like weird body dysmorphia. Like guys are like breaking their jaws so they can regrow bones and stuff. They're taking like pharmaceutical drugs to
Well,
lose
that
weight.
is the manosphere. You know the guy. They didn't talk about this guy, but it's funny. Cavicula. Yeah.
Yeah, him. He's a problem. Like I do not want him to start getting down this fucking pipeline.
You know they just Saturday Night Live just did a video with him.
Yeah.
Where his jaw and this, he's hitting himself with a hammer. Like the chick that's making fun of him about, yeah, bro, my square jaw. And this is, but what you find is, first of all, Lavi, did you see the management? Did you see the whole thing?
I just started watching it, and then I only got to the part where he calls that girl, like, each episode he calls the girl, like, his name or something.
Yeah.
I will probably watch the whole thing, but I've mostly seen clips and, like, the backlash and, like, that.
Yeah.
Angie speaking out on Myra and shit like that.
Yeah. Well, here's an interesting thing. I mean, there's that, and then you have this other group of people called the Groypers, right?
I haven't heard of them.
So you haven't or you have?
I don't think I might have heard that term you like tossed around or anything, something like that.
So the Groypers are actually Nick Fuentes guys, white supremacist Nick Fuentes guys. These are the guys who are so afraid of women, right? They think it's gay to have a girlfriend. So what they do is these guys, it's really weird. Like they will take another guy who's more feminine and date a guy as a trans person, and they have these kind of trans hetero relationship within their group so that they don't have to deal with women.
That's what they used to do back in Greece, right?
Greece had the senators had the little boys in there, but yeah. So, but did you try to turn him on to my stuff or no?
Yeah, well, I directly not yet. Like I'm gonna start sending him your content directly, but I started explaining him, and he's a little bouncy, like his head's all over the place, a little ADHD, like.
Yeah, but he's 13, so what can you expect?
Yeah, you're right. I was pretty bad too. Like I gotta put in perspective. Like I was into the Black Phillip and like that toxic ass shit infested my mind. Like,
yeah,
that was my whole perspective. I thought relationships were supposed to be like how Patrice and Vaughn were, like him just cussing her out all the time and being fucking mad about it, right?
Yeah.
So I get it. Like he's kind of into it a little earlier, but it's like it's scary because I had, I turned out all right because I, got into your content and
Right,
stuff.
right.
I just don't trust that he's gonna get as lucky.
Well, I mean, you're there to talk to him, so I mean, he's got that, and you can turn him on to the content. You know what I'm saying? Hold on one sec. Big shout to Xavier. Thank you for the cash app, brother. $10 on the cash app. Big shout to Deshaun. Thank you for the 10 bucks on the cash app. I appreciate you. Um, uh, yeah, I'm looking at Trixie. Trixie said, "What? Yeah, the dudes are dating other dudes, and they're saying having girls is gay. It's crazy." I don't know if you noticed, but Nick Fuentes is the white supremacist guy who's giving guys advice. I don't think he's giving them girl advice, but he's a virgin. Like I think he's 20. I'm not sure how old he is, but he's in his late 20s, the early 30s, and he's never been with a girl. He's never had a girlfriend, never had a sexual relationship. And these guys are following him because you got to understand that the problem with this is that when you had the this situation where you're young and you're impressionable, and people have millions of followers, it just they value based everybody's value is based on their followers. I mean this is just what they think is the case, and what they don't understand is what I love about this Manosphere documentary is you see that this whole thing is just falling apart. You know,
Yeah.
um, they are. It's really when you see these guys in real time, they're out of their minds. First of all, the guy, what's the guy? HS
Tiki
Tiki
Taki.
Taki, just a douche, just 100% douche. But understand something, he's only 23 years old. So, like, what do you expect? But when we're looking at Myron and the other dude, there's a guy from New Orleans. If anybody knows his name,
You talking about Justin Waller?
yeah, Justin Waller. When you go through each guy, you're like, really crazy. Now, somebody said in the chat says if that's what he thought about Black Phillip, then he wasn't listening right. That's not necessarily true, normal guy. Cap. I'll give you why. So Sneeko was also on that Manosphere thing as well, right? And Sneeko, if anybody knows, Sneeko was my little shorty. Like I was trying to help him. He had a really cute little girlfriend, and he really liked her and stuff. But she was, she was young. She was young and she was wild, and and reckless. And he didn't really know how to handle her, right? But what he had done was, I don't know if anybody who knows the Black Phillip stuff. There was a time where Patrice was talking about going to these swinger clubs and letting other, if he felt like if he could get past the fact that his girl was sleeping with other men, if he could get past that, then it wouldn't affect him in any emotional way. And my Bates Phillip, just a normal guy says, let me read this. Let me put this up real quick. Normal guy says, hold on. He says, Bates Phillip for me was about happiness, not cajoling people. I love the message of honesty and integrity. I agree. I agree, no, but the problem with this, what up from Singapore? We got somebody from Singapore. How dope is that? The crazy thing about it, but this was something that Patrice said on the Black Phillip show. He he was going to swingers clubs, and he liked and it was kind of a thing where Patrice had done this, right? But Patrice
Yeah,
had
I
done
remember.
it for one of the funniest things in the world. Like Patrice had told me that he took Vaughn to a swingers club, and he confided in me. He came there like, so I don't know if he was going down on her or wasn't. And there's an old saying. This is hilarious. There's an old saying that says, if you're the prettiest girl in a sex club, the orgy turns from an orgy to a gangbang because everybody's trying to fuck the cute girl. Um, and a lot of times the you don't get quality quality, very attractive people. It's kind of a mishmash of everybody, and usually the most attractive people are not showing up there, because if they're that attractive, they're probably going to do OnlyFans or porn. But
Or they could just have access to that,
yeah, right,
access
and
that
they do whatever they want to
content.
do. I
Yeah.
mean, like Punisher, Punisher literally, they hired him to go and sleep with Cassie, and Cassie is smoking hot. But
That's fucking crazy.
I remember him telling me he was going down on Vaughn, and then this was the time that they went, and somebody put his dick in Vaughn's face, and Vaughn spit on it and started. And he was like, "Oh yeah, we gotta get the fuck out of here." Because she was so comfortable, like, okay, this is what you want me to do, tweet, right? And then and there's a funny thing about this, and I say this to people all the time, and I know this is gonna sound weird, but if you don't want to be gay, don't fuck dudes, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Simple
things.
enough.
Yeah, there's things that you once you give yourself access to it, if you like it, now you're stuck. And if you don't want to be in that level of access, I mean, it's just like drugs. I mean, if you have an addictive personality or something and you're doing heavy drugs, depending on where you're at, but you're definitely opening the door to that. So, but Sneeko had heard that because he was like a big fan of Black Phillip, and he grew up watching Black Phillip. And so I was really trying to help him out, and I was like, I don't see why you're doing this, why you're putting yourself through these things. I also somebody just sent me a thing where they said that Sneeko was at one time was thinking about doing gay porn, and I don't know if he ever went through with it, but he definitely got some pictures online, some masturbation pictures online from a gay a gay photographer, and that's what you do, and whatever. But I'm just saying, it was constantly like he was just exploring, searching for some answers. When I tell people all the time, the answers are right in the mirror, man. It's you making the decisions about your life, and that is the most important thing. And if you're not in control of your thinking, you could still go down that slippery slope. Now, me personally, I've been in a lot of orgies and threesomes and foursomes and fivesomes and everything in between and whatever. And I also, part of the strip business, like the costumes and the design, was all gay dudes that used to sew the costumes, except for one girl, and we used to get the costumes from them. And it just, for me, it just, and I'm not saying I'm not acting like I'm better than anybody, but just you know it just wasn't my thing, right? And I totally get that you can, I'm not telling somebody that they can't explore their sexuality, but I will say this. Everything, hey, what up, Earth? Um, everything that people do in general, right? You don't have to go down that road. Um, one of the main chicks who used to do the costumes was the chick from Paris is Burning, Dorian Gray. She was like, if you look at the movie Paris is Burning, she was like one of the queen mothers. And then there was a Wendell. Wendell used to be in the front of Paula with the Patti LaBelle hair and stuff. But um, but the other thing about like Sneeko is just like, I think he's always been searching, and because he's always been searching, it's taken him to, like, I don't understand how you go from swingers club and I might be gay, I might want to do gay porn, to I'm a Muslim now, you know?
It's compensation or it's like compensating and shame.
Yeah, it's a I mean, I don't know anybody that I'm not saying, look, whatever your revelation is your revelation. But we have to do some kind of thinking. There has to be some kind of thought process. There's a word that I use often called epistemology. Epistemology is the process by which you discern what's true and what's false. And that's something that's hard to develop. But what I would say, getting back to your cousin or your nephew, get him on this Get him, show him my what you call it, my content, and get him to watch the live, and I'll you know what I mean? If
Yeah.
you call in. Thank you, Camille. You're the best. Camille in the city just did a cash app. Another one bites the dust, Dante. But hey, fine by me. You only have to tell me one time you don't want me. What? Camille, where are you going? What's the matter? I don't know why why she got upset. Oh, bro. Oh, okay. I guess she's going. I mean, good to hear from you. Thanks, Camille. Thanks for coming in. No, I appreciate you. Love you much. Um, I don't know what happened. Um, but hey, fine by me. That's weird. I, I've never told Camille to go nowhere, so I don't know what you're talking about, Camille. You're bugging out. Love you much though. Anyway, come back. But anyway, turn him on to the turn him on to the stuff, and then when you come in, or call with him on the line. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
I'll see if I can help him.
Okay, I appreciate it. Should I start with like the 5 bricks and stuff like that, or just
Nah,
any?
I mean, that's a little deep for him right now. How old is he?
Yeah, he's 13. Yeah, he's
Yeah, it's a
right.
little deep right now. So, I mean, if you can get him to start, it'd be crazy. But I mean, I just think he's a
That
little
would be.
young. So anyway,
Yeah, he's scared to like ask for ketchup and shit. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
doubt that
So
would be.
that ain't going. But I mean, if you could just get him talking, or call in when he is, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Good to hear you.
All right, take care.
Later. Camille, I don't know what happened, but call in. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what happened. I'm not aware of what happened, but you're always welcome here. Doing well, so she was telling you why. Camille was telling me why. Okay, hold on, let me look back. Camille, I don't know why she's doing. I'm doing a lot of things at once. Hey, Trixie. Da-da-da-da. Terrible. Oh, I didn't see that. I'm sorry, Camille. Call in, babe. Let's talk. If there's something going on, call in. I'd love to help you if I can. I don't know if she's still on or not. I don't know, Trixie, if she's still in or no. If not, I mean, anybody knows her, holler at her. Uh, okay. I would hate for her to, she's always been supportive. I would hate for her to not feel comfortable here. And anybody who's here, if you got something going on and you want to call in, the phone lines is open 929-269-4922. I'd love to help. I mean, this is what this is about.
Awesome.
What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, my name is Angel. I'm calling from Brooklyn.
Hey, Angel, what's going on?
Hi, I just wanted to say I love you.
I love you
and
too.
I miss you.
I miss you too. What's going on?
And I got a question.
Sure.
We met when we were so young. Well,
Okay.
I was really young.
Okay.
I was 21,
Okay.
and now I'm 55,
Okay.
and I've become a cougar.
Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with
So
that.
what's your thing on cougars?
When you ask me what's my thing on cougars, what do you mean?
What's your perspective of cougars?
Yeah, but that's a really wide, Angie. That's a really wide scope. What do you mean? Do I think that they have a shot? Do I think like give me a framework so I know what you're talking about?
Now it's like it's trendy, right?
Yeah.
The cougar thing.
Yeah.
And I think older women we done fell into the cougar trap. Like it's okay, we embrace it, we celebrate it.
Well, why do you think that that's a trap though? Why do you call it a trap?
Cause I tried the cougar thing and it ain't
Wait,
what
okay.
it.
Are you saying you tried the cougar thing, meaning you were dating younger men
Yeah,
and you didn't like it?
yeah. It's the mentality thing. they wasn't equaling up on the mentality
Yeah, but
part of the.
you got to understand something, and this is something that I think we have to really discuss a little bit. You got to understand something, like when you, and this is for anybody, right? When you grow and you read and you learn and you become wiser, right? In general, right? Your options are gonna diminish. Not
Right.
because you can't get laid, because you like you said, you had embraced the cougar thing, but the bottom line is that you just not you find yourself dealing with these young dudes as you find yourself wanting for more. Is that what you're saying?
Of what? The younger man?
Yeah, like if you're fucking with a younger dude, it's just not he don't have what you need.
The physicality is fine.
Right,
It's
but
the
it's the mental.
mentality side, right? That I think, like, when I say we celebrate the cougar, I'm like, no, I don't think we telling the whole truth as women, because when you're dating a younger man, it's the mentality. Most of them ain't. I don't know. It's just it's not
Well,
equaled up.
yeah, but
So the physicality is all really that's given for that.
sure it is. But here's what you got to understand is, I don't know if you heard me earlier talking about hypergamy. Is that women?
So I'm still struggling.
Okay, so women find men attractive to them who they're better than. If the man is better than them, do you know what I mean by
Mm,
that?
I got you.
So what happens is, and this is just a part of the way nature is and biology is. What happens is as you become a woman and you start to explore and you learn and you become wise, you just don't like, because your attraction is attached to everything. It's attached to the
Hmm.
intellectual. It's attached to the emotional. It's attached to the physical. So the physical is there, but all the other stuff is not there.
Right.
The problem with that is that as you get older and you become wiser, the pickings become slim, not because you can't get laid and people ain't plenty of dudes. I know plenty of dudes that don't want nothing but cougars and milk. But the point
Right.
is, you don't want it back. Like you want
Mm-hmm.
somebody who's gonna have some energy. You want them to match you intellectually and emotionally.
There you go.
But I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
something. I find the same thing for myself, and I don't mean that. Well, yeah, I find it with younger women too, and whatever. But the difference is, it's okay for me to date a younger woman and go, okay, she's kind of
Let me
ditzy,
teach
but
her.
I
Look
don't
at
mind teaching her.
right. Exactly. And I think that's my problem. I'm not a teacher.
Right,
I'm not, and I feel uncomfortable and feel like I'm trying to tell him how to be a man. And I'm
right,
like,
because you want to feel safe, and you can't feel safe with somebody who don't have who's not confident in himself.
no, no, B, not fully. They super confident. I love super confident.
Yeah, but they confident, but point you really like, yeah, whatever. You know what it's like? It's like, um, I'm gonna tell you something, and this. I have a lot of friends that I stopped talking to simply because intellectually they're not on my level anymore, and I
Mm,
don't want to. I just don't want to talk to them no more. Like I don't want to hang out with somebody who's gonna
but
say
I think
some.
that's nature, ain't that? Like when we just grow apart, you know.
Yes, but the difference is your attraction is attached to the fact that a guy teaches you stuff and he makes you feel safe and has things to teach you and is upgrade you. Where for me, it's not the same
Mm,
thing.
I
It
got it.
still affects me. I mean, look, if you try to if I try to talk to a 22-year-old or 23 and she ain't got nothing on the cap, I just can't do it. You know what I mean?
Right,
And I mean
right,
I could smash, but
right.
how far after I'm smashing and we laid up in the bed, what, and we talking about something and she don't have nothing to say.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like
It's
I feel
just
like that's the cool. Like that's the definition. just what you just said, to me, is like the definition of cougar. It's not a good thing really because yeah, we can get younger men to have sex with, but is they getting all around men? You
I
know what I'm
hate to,
saying?
I hate. This is it because I have three older. Well, I have two older sisters now, but I have three. I had three sisters, and I
Hmm.
always felt sorry for them because as they got older and they became wiser and they became complete women, the pickings just became slimmer and slimmer. I had a young lady that I dated, and then and she ended up getting married and whatever, and she did this thing where she married a dude who really wasn't up to her caliber, you know. But she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna date this ugly guy and have a couple kids, and this way I won't have to worry." Because she was just tired of the all the nonsense, all the punks, pimps, and players. You know what I mean? And what happened was, she eventually fell in love with his ugly ass, right? But the minute he had her, he was instantly a dickhead. He was a basketball coach and then he started sleeping with all the mothers and she was like, I didn't even
So
think this
he
guy.
built him up with this confidence to just go out there and be
Yeah, well,
yeah.
because he really was insecure in the first place. And the minute you got to understand something. What happens to people when people have low self esteem
True.
and you like them and they have low self esteem, they're looking at you like, what's wrong with you? Like
Right.
they're going, I ain't shit. How come you don't know? How come you don't know I ain't shit? What's wrong with you?
That's true.
Do you know what I mean?
That's
So
true.
it is what it is. Big shout to Brandon, top notch chick is $9. Thank you for the cash app, brother. So I hate to say this is that what up, Greg? Um, I hate to say this. The problem with this is that it just is what it is as you get older. But I would say older men do the same thing as you become a better human being, a more mature human being, a more rounded human being. Everything becomes um, you just don't have the tolerance that you have for people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it
you
and
know,
it's
the older men think they know everything. They don't want to listen. They don't want to take advice.
yeah.
I, yeah,
I don't like I don't envy you as a
yeah.
woman.
I don't envy me either. I'm in my 20s.
I really don't because you know what but and when you're young and goofy and whatever well,
I never even
it's
had to think
easier.
about nothing like this. I never had to think about nothing like this. And now that I'm here, and it's like I'm blessed to still be here. I'm
Yeah,
not,
I get you. I mean, you
I,
going you it
I,
seemed to me like you're gonna have to do mess with dudes your age or older, you know. And then ain't a lot of dudes your age or older that are in shape, that physically attractive, or maybe can handle you sexually or whatever. I mean, I don't envy you, ma. I really don't. This is why it's important to get your dude and make it work. When you're in your prime. You know what I mean?
I wish I'd knew that then. I missed out on a lot.
You should ask me,
Yeah.
Angie. I would have told you.
You should have told me. We had talked. You should have told
You
me.
didn't. You didn't ask me the right. You didn't ask the right questions. What I would say is this: understand this. This is something. This is a condition that happens with everybody. You know,
Yeah,
it's
I know.
and I have grown ass 50-year-old friends who I do not talk to because intellectually they don't even understand where I'm coming from.
Mm.
And but I also know older dudes who don't have their stuff together, and because they don't have their stuff together,
And that's
they can't even get laid. You know,
that's the problem too.
so
That's the problem too.
but you gotta, it also has to be where what I would say also to you is you got to go to different places. You got to go around places where how old are you? And somebody's asking how old you are.
I'm 55.
55. So
50.
it's now. Let me ask you this, Ed: are you the best version of yourself right now?
To me, yeah. To
Physically?
me, physically, yes, I'm the best version of me to myself.
That's not what I'm.
Physically.
What yourself.
Physically.
You
Not to what somebody else would see. Because I come a long way from what I was. You know what I was.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm much better than that now.
What
And
I'm
I'm much,
saying, and what you got to understand is you got to be the best you could be for the caliber of people that you're trying to get. You got to think about what is it you're trying to get, and what do I need to.
but the thing is, I have never had a problem getting a man of any caliber. Like I've tried. If I wanted him, if I went to get a man, I could get a man.
Yeah,
That's never been
that's
my
not what I mean.
problem.
That's not what I mean. What you're looking, you have to be. We're not talking about a man. You're
That's
talking
what
about.
I'm saying. The ones that I do want to get with, I could get with them, but when I get with them, I'm like, throw it back. It ain't what you thought it was.
Well,
Throw it back.
I'm just saying, and you have to, in order to be the type of chick that pulls that kind of guy, that kind of sophisticated guy, and all the things that you want, you got to be better, and you got to compete with these young girls, and it's just not. It's just like I just said, like it ain't. Look, don't get me wrong. As you get older, it's always difficult.
You know, they say it's someone for everyone. I'm
Yeah,
patient.
that's bull. I don't. That's bull.
I
That's
ain't
just
one of
talk.
those women that want to give up on,
I don't think you
my
should give up, but I
person.
just think you got to be the best version of yourself. You got to sell the product that you sell has to be. You got to consider what is somebody, what the type of man that you're looking for. What's the type of man that you're looking for, and what does he want? You know, and then you got to be that.
I want the type of man that see me, not my physicality.
Yeah,
See me for who I am, because I'm more than what you see.
yeah, I get that. I get that, but it's just you got to be you. I mean, the honest truth is that you have to have a bigger pool, and you got to be attractive to a larger pool of men. I mean, it's just is what it is. You know, we all get older. You know, there's people
Yeah,
that you know, you and I, you knew me back when in the 20s, like guys who I don't even talk to,
right.
and have nothing to say because it just I can't even have the conversation with them if that makes sense. Okay, so if it's like that for me in a non-attractive, non-sexual way, I don't I don't envy older women at all. Okay,
Yeah, but listen, this is my thing. We haven't spoken in God knows. I think last time I spoke to you was when Poochie passed. And the thing is, we could still have conversation though. You know what I'm saying? I call you up like you're still my big brother. I still love you. And I know if I call you, receive whatever I'm giving, I'm gonna receive what you're giving. That's the love that we just got that bond 2 years ago. You know?
yeah, but I'm also saying to you that this is a situation where you're asking me to assess the situation. So, thanks, normal guy. He did get it from me. They talk about Kevin Samuels and Camille, you back? Call me, girl, if you're upset. Call me.
What you do to Camille?
I didn't do anything. But anyway, let me go. I gotta go to a couple people on the line. Let me hit you. Let me hit you. All right.
I love you. I'm gonna keep watching the show.
All right, baby. Bye bye. So yeah, Camille, call me if there's something wrong with you. Phil, I'm worried about you now. Um, yes, Kevin Samuels did quote Black Phillip in the stuff that we were doing. Women don't often date down nor feel that need to handle mates who are still learning themselves. Absolutely not. The more the crazy thing about the whole idea of hypergamy is it's worse for women. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Dirk from Montana.
What up, Derek? How are you, brother?
I'm good. I just wanted to take like 30 seconds to ask you a real quick question.
Sure. Let's go.
Yeah, my main experience is this. I was in two long-term relationships, 7 years each. They ended the same way. The women fell in love and wanted to get married, but I didn't.
Okay.
And I feel this way because, I felt I did my job decently together, cute, smart, charming, funny, capable, whatever. I was better than them,
Mhm.
But they didn't do anything for me. They didn't invoke the same feeling of love, of I desire to marry, like in me that I want to marry them, like I demonstrably did for them in return. So my question is, did I just get unlucky in these women, or is this how women generally are? In a nutshell, I don't understand how someone can profess love and marriage and then not lift like a finger to care and facilitate their partner's happiness. How would I phrase it? I don't even know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you did a great job of discussing it and explaining what your point of view is.
Thank you.
My question to you is, listen,
Absolutely.
it doesn't sound like you have a hard time getting women.
Right. Well, that's hard to say just because I've been in those, 2 7-year long
Okay,
relationships
so
that occupied most of my time.
but you have to take some responsibility for this.
Absolutely.
You have
Yes.
two relationships, 7 years apiece. Neither
Yes.
one of them made you happy. So my question would be, drum roll, please, is why did you stay for 7 years?
That's an excellent question, and one I've tried to reflect on. And I think most of it's just to ignorance, growth, or lack of growth, insecurity. And then there's
That's a
turmoil of
lot.
life.
Let's narrow it
Sure, yes,
down. What is it? What
yeah.
was it?
Um, I'm sorry, I am trying to think on the spot. I don't mean to waste
No,
your
that's
time.
fine.
Oh, that's one probably the most recent one was probably the better one. It's a comment. I'm just trying to remember. Yes, that's 7 years in a nutshell. One, even though I feel mostly well put together, I do have things to work on. One is my own body image. And
Okay, so
that's
stop.
probably physically.
So you
Yeah,
were saying because physically you didn't feel as though you were the best specimen of who you are, who you wanted to be,
exactly.
and so you
Yeah, that was probably
stayed
number one.
because you didn't feel like you had options.
I think it also contributed to my lack of courage to like ask for more from them. We did talk. I'm the one that kind of kept the relationships going, but like, cause it was weird. That's my own insecurity, but I also wanted to kind of fight for us. So it was a paradox. Absolutely.
You gotta understand something, Doug. Relationships are, relationships are easy. It's like moving a couch.
Mhm.
Um, it's hard if you only got one person.
Yeah.
If you got two people, it's easy to move a couch. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah.
And what you have to do is, and how old are you now?
36.
And so you're 36. You still got many years. The point is, number
Cool.
one is, and I'm going to tell you something. You have to definitely take this into consideration. Number one,
Yes, please.
both of these women wanted to marry you, right?
Correct. Correct.
Okay, so they didn't have a problem with what you look like.
True.
They were ready to make
That's
the
absolutely
commitment
true.
immediately. So who had the problem with the way that you look? You did, right?
Yes. Yeah,
And this
that's right.
wasn't even they probably didn't even articulate that.
Mm.
So this is an insecurity in your own self, and until you fix that insecurity, you're always going to be insecure.
Absolutely.
That's
That's
always going to
exactly,
be a
yes.
thing.
I
And
appreciate that.
and
I'll work on that right
I'm
now.
not telling you like I don't have a picture of you. I don't have a full
Yeah.
body shot of you. But I'm just saying from
Yeah.
what you're saying, what you're communicating to me is that there is a situation where you don't feel that you're the best version of yourself. So,
Yes.
but they didn't mind. So they just
Yeah.
wanted to marry you. They loved you
Right.
no matter what. And then you didn't have the courage to leave, but then you
Yes.
stayed until they left, and then you didn't feel. The point is, what I'm point is this: we're
Yeah.
supposed to, and here's something else that's an alarm for me, a red flag for me.
Okay.
Both
Yeah,
of those
please.
relationships were 7 years, which
Mhm.
means you didn't learn nothing from the first one.
But yeah, the first one I'll say was I don't mean it as an excuse. It was the first one. I was young, ignorant. That was my first girlfriend ever. I was like, out of high school, into college. A lot
But
going on. I
you
didn't
do
know what I was
understand.
doing.
You're telling me both of them were 7 years, so you didn't
Yeah.
even cut down on the time the amount of time that you wasted with somebody who wasn't making you happy.
I'm sorry. Could you? I don't think I understand. Could you repeat
What
that,
I'm
please?
saying is, you didn't even both relationships were 7 years.
Yeah.
At least if you had told me, well, the second relationship wasn't really what I wanted, and so I got out in 2 years. Even better, I got out in 6 months. Even better, I got out in 2. Like, people are who they are. If somebody is not
Yeah.
interested in making you happy, right? Big shout to Angelique Ramirez. Hey, thanks for the $10 on the Cash App. My point is, at least if we had you go, well, the first relationship was 7 years, the second relationship was 4, then the next week, and what I would say to you is, look, we need to get that. Once we recognize that somebody is not giving us what we want, we have to get out of those relationships and find the people who are. And we have to speak up and say, we have to, like I say this all the time, is you have to know what your non-negotiables are and then never
I
negotiate.
learned that with this one.
But
I learned that with this recent one. I didn't learn that before. You're right. I didn't reflect enough in between.
And you gotta
not an excuse,
understand
but
is when you're
changing
dating, you
jobs and
gotta,
all that.
if this is really what you want somebody, you want that kind of love and you want that reciprocation, you have to hold people accountable for it. And when they're not, it's no hard feelings. It's just, you gotta understand something, man. If you going with a fishing rod to the ocean and you looking for fish to swim, it ain't gonna happen. And I understand that we think that because we're all human beings and whatever, we're having conversations and discussing, we think that it'll all work out. No, there are people who do not have the breadth of knowledge or wisdom. Sometimes they don't have the emotional maturity. Sometimes you don't know what kind of trauma somebody's been through. You don't know who's been raped. You don't know who's been molested. Like there's all this trauma, and if somebody is not giving you, and I think it's also good that because you don't want to stay until you start to resent each other.
Yes.
So you got to make the decision: is this the person for me? And if it's not, I got to move on.
Yeah.
But you have to define what that looks like. You can't get to the finish line if you don't know, if you don't have a destination.
Yeah, it took a long time to figure that out. And I know more going to the future. And I guess maybe this segues into questions like, what is reasonable to expect from a woman? Like in the 7 years I was together, I remember like one birthday for me that celebrated me versus what I did for her, which is, the things that made her fall in love.
Agreed.
But I didn't
But here's
receive
my
much.
thing. You did 7 birthdays with her that weren't what you wanted them to be.
Yeah.
Whose fault is that?
Well, I would say it's mostly mine, but I do want to know, where does a woman's responsibility kick in? I mean, they're in love. Shouldn't they do something considerate for their partner?
But you're asking me this, and repeat the question that you just asked me.
Oh, sorry, like trying to learn what is.
No.
What are the?
No, I want you to repeat exactly what you just said to me.
Oh, sorry.
You said what? I'll tell you. You said, shouldn't they do something?
Yes.
Do you know what that infers to?
Please explain.
That she did
I do not.
nothing. She did almost nothing.
Yes.
That this whole relationship was you giving and you adjusting and you compromising. I talk about this all the time. I'm going to bring it up because I haven't done it in a while. But let me look it up real quick. It's the word compromise. Because I don't think we understand what compromise means, right?
Yeah, sounds good. Yes.
All right. So it's an agreement or settlement of dispute that is reached by each side making concessions. Settle or dispute by mutual concession. That means it's not just you. It's not you shutting the fuck up and taking whatever she gives you. It's not her just taking whatever you give. It's a mutual. Neither one of y'all are happy. I don't mean it that way, but I mean both of you are making concessions. You're both doing things that you don't want to do. If it's only one-sided, right? If it's only one-sided, then that's not a compromise. That's what you call a sacrifice.
Yeah, it didn't start out as a sacrifice.
Oh yes.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
Oh yes, it did. It absolutely
You're right.
did.
I mean, you're absolutely right. It did. Like my interpretation of it as was at the time. Like I kept trying to. We would have talks. I kept trying to encourage her. Hey, I need this from you, and I'd get improvement for about a week before reverting to the old ways. And I just got tired.
Let me ask you
changing
something.
careers and all
Here's the
sorts of
thing.
stuff.
Let's say I'm going to give you a real hypothetical,
yeah, please.
crazy hypothetical.
All right.
Let's say I'm a gay man, right? And
Right.
I date you.
Okay.
And then you going, hey, I'm not really into you fucking me.
Mm.
And I go, oh, come on, And you go, well, I mean, it'd be good if we could bring a girl in every once in a while because I'm not really gay. And I brought a girl in, but the bottom line is I'm a gay man and you're not. You understand?
Okay.
So we just
okay.
don't mesh. It's just not gonna
Yeah.
work. So, but you
Yeah,
gotta
it
understand.
took me a long time to figure that out. Yeah, too long.
Clearly, 7 years. But the biggest
Yeah.
thing that you got to take accountability for is you did this 7 years before that. You didn't even cut down on the time that you was bullshit, and you basically stayed in the relationship until she left. Until you didn't even have an option. I mean, you might have the option. You could have married her. That's not what you wanted to do.
Right.
So my point is that we with time we need to get better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's for me now because it just took a long time. Like, I don't want to waste your time, and of course, life just happens. You get stuck into
Yeah, but
routines and
that's
ruts, and
the
that's not an
point. It
excuse.
can't.
Yeah, it's
It
like
can't. It
building
can't.
awareness. I didn't reflect enough. I didn't
Time
come to the conclusions.
time is
stuff.
the commodity. You got to understand that time is
Absolutely.
commodity. Without time, there's nothing else.
Yeah.
You can't get fame, riches, stability, time. You have to transfer time and energy for all those things that are going to bring happiness to you, and you don't have time to waste being with somebody. So what I'm saying is, you got to learn these lessons.
Yeah.
You got to figure out what
Yeah.
your destination is, and if you really want it, put in. Let's get a consultation with me because there's other stuff going on underneath this.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
There's definitely other stuff going on because you wouldn't be going through this if there wasn't some stuff going. Nobody goes through failed 7-year relationships where both of them do the same. You're doing the same things. One-on-one consultation. Hit me at DonTeNero.com and we can dig in. And, basically, you got a bullet wound. There's trauma there that needs to be flushed out, and it's not going to change until it's flushed out. Okay.
I understand. Thank you,
DonTeNero.com. Click on consult. You can get me. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, brother. Thanks for calling in, man.
No problem.
All right. Later. Yeah, you gotta like. There's so much when somebody is talking to me, and even especially when I'm doing, I'm kind of doing a bunch of things. I'm putting the numbers up, and I'm putting the consultations up, and I'm doing all of this stuff. But the bottom line with any of this is that we're in a situation where I'm listening to what you say. So when somebody says to me, I have 2 relationships, 7 years apiece, right? The first thing I'm going to ask is, why did you take the same amount of time to break up with the first shitty relationship to do the second shitty relationship at the same time? At the very least, it's the time spent that you learn from the first one to recognize that these are making mistakes. And at least if you do something different. But if you don't do something different, nothing is going to change. You can't just keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. And there's definitely self-esteem stuff and stuff going on because you're holding on to something that you're not really satisfied with. But I'll give you one thing I would say is he wasn't in a situation where he didn't let her bogart him and bully him into a marriage that he didn't want. So I mean, it's not all bad, and understand that all of this stuff is fixable. Phone lines are up. I'm gonna read the comments. This is Aaron says women don't often date down nor feel that need to handle matters. Who are still learning, men who are still learning themselves and teach them how to love them. That's a man's job. Absolutely. It changes the older you get. Even at 55, you got to kiss frogs in order to get princes. You're absolutely right, Brandon. In fact, you might have to kiss more frogs because at that age, men might be set in their ways. Absolutely. Not only they're set in their ways, but what happens is your intellect, your emotional, woman's emotional, what up, Russell? What's going on? The emotional, that emotional, how should I put it? Your emotional level, your wisdom, your emotional maturity is higher, and so you will put up with less. Um, I'm just saying you can find happiness, right? It just anything that's gonna make you happy and that's perfect and has enough of the good stuff and not enough. It takes time. It takes time. I mean, anything worth something is worth a just sacrifice, and it takes time, energy, and to get there with that. So, it is what it is. Phone lines are open 929-269-4922. I know there was some calls in that was on the hold, but you can only take one. I appreciate you too, bro. What up, team? um, the Aaron, you a Kappa? Dope, dope, dope. Camille, call in. If something wrong with you, better call in. I'm waiting to hear from you. Big shout to JP. What's poppin', baby? Um, yeah, it's an interesting thing. What's also interesting, I was talking about the manosphere thing. It's like you're talking about a bunch of dudes who are extensively broken. Um, and a lot of them don't have that masculine energy, don't have that father. And even if they did have the father, he was around in limited ways. I mean, Andrew Tate talks about that. His father was a chess champion, but yet and still, was popped in and out of their house and out of their life. And so there's this need to express masculinity because they're still trying to get the acceptance of people in the they're trying to get the acceptance of that masculine figure. They want to be good enough.
From
Deshaun.
Deshaun, what's going on? What's popping? How can I help you?
Yo, what's good, Dante? This is my first time calling.
Good.
Yeah, bro. I watch your show. I've been watching your show I watch it every week. I don't know how long. Probably for like about a year.
Yeah.
But I love when like Harry and Hunt was on, and
Yeah.
even you got you got
Vishnu, yeah, Vishnu's online. Yeah.
It's funny. But anyway, so I'm just calling to chop it up. You mentioned the Manosphere. I actually just watched that whole thing yesterday, and it's interesting. So my name, like I said, my name is Deshaun. I'm 30. I'm from East Harlem. And so like me growing up, I was like many black men didn't have like a father figure growing up. And so like when I was 14, I remember going on like YouTube and looking up all of that, like how to get a girl stuff.
Yeah,
And then,
the pickup artist stuff.
Exactly, pickup artists and all of that stuff. And like, as I've gotten older, I lost my virginity at 18. And, I've been getting stuff. I'm sorry, I don't know if I say that on live. But anyways, and so like, and I'm going to do a consultation with you because I do have some things to process. Just in general, like I really appreciate what you share. Like Ace, that has like truly helped me when it comes to just my relations with women. And just constantly reminding myself, just be authentic, bro. Just be who you are. She fuck with it, she fuck with it. She don't, whatever. Just stay solid in who you are. But anyway, to speak on the Manosphere thing. And I want to hear your perspective, right? Like on it. So obviously, I think Clear HF had a lot of trauma. All of them had trauma.
Yeah.
But it's funny. I think the homie from New Orleans, right? Let me know your perspective on it.
Yeah.
I think the homie from New Orleans seems like the only one that had a good setup. And when you
say a good setup, what do you mean?
All right. So here's what I mean by that, right? Like. And now maybe he spoke to his wife beforehand, before she got on camera, boom, and he was like, yo, like, make sure you say this. Maybe that could have been the agreement, potentially. But it seemed like when it came to, you mentioned in the episode today, just like hypergamy, and like that's like super true. But like, you know, when you look at like the way that he like set up, and I am not by any means praising any of these men.
Okay,
That's
stop. All
another
right,
thing that I
stop,
want to
stop,
do.
stop.
Go
Let
ahead.
me just say this.
Yeah,
Do
go
you
ahead. Yeah,
think
bro.
that his wife was happy about this?
I think, look, bro. So I think that I don't think she was happy. I think she's almost like potentially even like brainwashed in the sense of like he
I
probably
don't think she was brainwashed, because if she was brainwashed, I wouldn't have noticed how unhappy she was.
Yeah, because it like, so here's what she was saying. She was like, "Oh, he's in his lane, I'm in my lane," and she was like, "Oh, I take care of the house." So it seemed like via her words, like I can tell she was unhappy, just like I can tell the other dude was like faking it or faking it for the fuck, right? Like you can tell that she wasn't like happy. Maybe those were just the words she was saying to like
I'm going to tell you something. Here's
Go
an
ahead, bro.
interesting thing. When people talk about the threesomes and all this stuff,
Yeah,
we hear about this.
like
We hear
she
about
was,
this all the time. Here's the thing:
she
a
was
chick
like, "Oh, they
who's
don't need to know."
a chick who's going to do a threesome is a chick who likes women.
Uh,
She's not uh she's not going to, like, if you're forcing somebody to do that. And I'm gonna
yeah.
tell you something. What you call it? Like, Patrice never, like, Vaughn didn't like women like that.
Mm-hmm.
She just didn't. She liked him, and she did made sacrifices for what she wanted to make. But usually in that situation, you're gonna be in a situation where you go, okay, it's cost benefit to loss ratio. Okay, I got this guy. He's making a lot of dough. I got a big old house. I can take care of my kids. Maybe he's a good father. Maybe, I don't know, whatever. And she's making a decision that she's gonna settle. That's
So that's what you read. That's what you thought.
yeah.
Like she's making that decision
Yeah.
to settle. You know,
And
I
she's
got
justifying it to herself
got it.
because she got a big old house and some kids. Dog,
Yeah,
I've
and the kids.
one of my exes dated a dude, right? Good looking black dude, and he made good money, bought a big house, she had
Mm-hmm.
two beautiful daughters. But this dude he was clearly gay.
Mm-hmm.
And he
Mm-hmm.
would take these long trips and whatever. But she didn't have to work. She had the big
Yeah,
house. She was able to take
yeah.
her daughters. I don't know if she was, I don't know if she was stepping out
Probably
on her
sleeping with
own.
somebody else. Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean,
Like a lavender relationship.
people make the decision based on what their options are. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's distinctly different when you get somebody who is into women, has dated women, she likes women, never going to not like women. I mean, that's the best case scenario. But
And you
more,
wasn't getting that vibe from her. Like she was like, 'cause she mentioned like she was like, "Oh, I guess it seemed like she mentioned that they used to do threesomes, but it was on some
of
like
course, she ain't doing it now.
now."
She got 2 kids, and she ain't.
Yeah.
And she'd
She's
rather,
pregnant
like,
now.
go do what you want to do. I
Exactly.
just not gonna say. I'm not gonna do. Look, you don't rub it in my face and keep it moving.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So here's something that was really, really. What was the guy's name again? I forget his name.
I forgot. I just said the homie from New Orleans. But
Right.
one of the last things that I do want to mention, sorry, before you mention, like, so like, obviously they're not married, and so like that was one of the things that came up.
Yeah.
And like like that's one of the things like when it comes to us men. I'm 30 right now, and I'm like, I'm not married yet, and I'm like, okay, I don't have a fortune, but like let's say if I were to like build a fortune first, I would be like a prenup would be something that I'll be considering and
I
things like
don't
that. And
see why
so
you wouldn't do that.
yeah, exactly. But that's like a stigma, like men, we don't really like talk about like, we don't really talk about like protecting our assets and stuff like that. I know on your show, like those are things, like those are real
Well, because I
conversations that
think
you
what's
speak
happening
about.
when you talk about Myron and these dudes, they're lying. So
I know.
they're not having these. They're all lying, and it's all fraudulent, and they're all trying to figure it out, and they're marketing the fact that they don't know. If I don't know something, I'm gonna tell you I don't know. And
Exactly.
if I'll be like, I'm not really sure. But if you're listening, here's the crazy thing: the guy that just called and said he was in 2 relationships 7 years
Yeah.
apiece, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Mm-hmm. I was
understand
working
how
on that.
like my mentality goes, wait a minute, 2 long-term relationships, 7 apiece, they're both the same amount of time, there's something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because you should get better at this.
At
So
relationships,
if
yes,
you're not
100%.
getting it, if you did it the first time the same way you did it the second time, that ain't good. That's
And I
not good.
think that I also think that what happens is, I'm a big proponent of journaling, and I think that oftentimes, like most of us, including myself, at times, we go through relationships and we don't really reflect on what we learned, and then I think that that's why people kind of make the same mistakes
I mean,
and things like that.
this is why I think this every time I kind of want to push and push more on my comedy career and stuff, I always keep this alive because it's a space where guys can come and women can come
Yeah,
and
bro,
talk
it's incredible. Yeah,
and have.
yeah, especially definitely bring the ladies for sure, like because their
That's why y'all
perspective is
y'all
important.
gotta send them content. Y'all gotta like it and share it and send it to people who
For
know
sure.
and whatever because we want to keep this space open. We want to
Yeah.
keep this space open because I mean, think about all the and I mean those dudes were making millions of dollars just
Mhm.
lying, just
It's
lying
kind of crazy, and
every
A$AP was
day.
very clear about that. He was like, "Yo, I'm in this for myself. I don't give a fuck. I don't care." You know.
Yeah, and what's
That
crazy,
shit
you
was
still
funny.
got guys that'll follow that.
I know that was the other sad part. Like the two guys that they interviewed, and they was like really idolizing them, and I'm like,
Here's what's
damn,
crazy.
like,
He said, "Yeah, my brother, my brother
killed himself
unalived
or something.
himself,"
Yeah.
and
Oh,
he was
sorry. I
like,
don't know
"Well, he
what.
was just weak." It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
look, don't get me wrong. I just watched this. There's a really good uh, there's a really good documentary. I forgot what it is. It's on I think it's on Amazon Prime or whatever, but it's on it's specifically on men's rights.
Okay. What's the name of it? I definitely will look
I
it up.
don't know. What I'll do is I'll find it, and then the next live I'll bring it up. Somebody call in. Just remember,
Yeah.
next live I do next Tuesday or whatever. We'll call in and
Right.
I'll have the name. But I mean,
Right.
what's interesting about even that is, um, out of the battery, like where you have abused husbands who physically could handle themselves, but they're in abusive women with traumatized women who beat their men, and there's only one shelter for men in
Wow.
the country,
Hmm.
in all of the United States. It's just one. So when you
Yeah,
talk
man.
about the
Yeah.
rules and the laws and the advocacy and the fact that because as men we're not supposed to just shut up and take it. Like you know how crazy it is that if your wife is beating on you and you call the cops,
Yeah.
the other men don't even respect you.
Or even like that's just the physical, but like just the wife being emotionally abusive, but whatever. And this
Sure,
is
sure.
not
But I
by
mean,
any.
even
Yeah.
we're
Yeah. Yeah.
literally talking about physical and
Yeah.
emotionally. I mean, because the
Exactly.
physical's
Yeah.
happening and the emotional's happen. And I'm not,
For
and I
sure.
don't, and I'm not saying that this doesn't. I'm not
Happen in the other way.
diminishing the
Yeah.
fact that
Exactly.
women have,
Yes.
that it's women that because we're the stronger and they're abusive. But the
Hmm.
point is that
Yeah. Not at
we
all.
want healthy relationships, and if we're gonna have
Exactly.
healthy relationships, there's gotta be more to this.
Yeah. Like the whole conversation has to be had, and men have to have the conversation and be vulnerable and stuff. Like, yeah, like it's really dope. Like that's why I like the set of fellas that you have. Like everybody has a different story and different perspective, and they're all
Yeah.
just like regular brothers like myself. And so it's really relatable. Like
Yeah.
so yeah, man, I really love what you do, man.
I appreciate it,
And
man. Thank you,
yeah,
bro.
I'm definitely gonna book a consultation
And spread
and
the
just
word.
chop it up. Oh
DanteNero.com.
yeah,
Click
for
on
sure.
consult for the consultation. Please,
Yeah, man.
everybody who's out there, everybody on this live, just send it to 2 friends. Just please send it to
Hmm.
2 friends. That's all I would ask. And we can grow. I don't mind growing slowly, but we need to get this there. I mean, because just watching that thing was like, man, I really felt I was inspired because I was like, I really need to do more work.
Yeah, bro, it shows the influence that's
Yeah,
out there and that's like
yeah,
permeating through people versus what you're sharing, bro. Like what
yeah,
you're sharing is like what you're sharing for us men, people, not just men and women.
yeah,
Work,
yeah,
not
yeah.
work on themselves.
Absolutely.
Work on themselves. Be authentic. Just be honest. Be credible. Like if you say you're gonna do something, do it. Like,
Yeah,
text back, simple things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you fucking with other people, talk
it's
about,
simple, but it ain't easy,
simple
bro.
things.
It's simple, but it ain't easy.
I get it. There's a lot of fear and stuff behind it, and trauma and all that stuff. But anyway, but yeah, bro, like, I appreciate, keep doing what you're doing. Keep on listening. I'll call in.
All right,
Like
brother.
I said, I'm gonna do a consultation, man. And yeah, I don't know if you still ride motorcycles, but I got a Ducati Monster. And,
Oh yeah, I got
Vegas.
the Ducati DFL.
Oh, you got the DFL. Okay,
Yeah.
You be cruising. You got the Teriomi exhaust.
I got the Teriomi exhaust, and I got the front.
Okay.
I got the S, the one with the forward pegs.
Okay, and I got the clear gold clutch on my Ducati Monster.
Yeah.
So I'll be out there rumbling. I'm in Cali right now, but
All right.
but yeah, bro. But yeah, man,
Appreciate you,
I'll
bro.
definitely chop it up. Nice to speak to you, and yeah.
All right,
Have a
bro.
good one, my bro.
Later. Phone lines are right now open. Yeah, it's an interesting thing, and here's the funny thing is because Godfrey has really been blowing up on social media, and he had the wherewithal to meet Dr. Dre, and Dr. Dre broke up with his wife, and it cost him $100 million, and he said he would have spent that $100 million 2 more times just to have the peace and quiet that he has, and the peace of mind.
Javi.
Javi, what's popping, baby? What's going on? How can I help you?
Dante Nero, good to finally talk to you. How you doing?
Same. Good to hear your voice. What's going on?
Hey, let's see. Long time listener, first time caller. Here's more or less my situation. I'm 34, going on 35, and I'm at the point of my life where I feel like I got to settle down, get married. I want to start a family, get a wife, all that jazz. And how would you advise a man in my situation in terms of what to look for in a woman to settle down with,
Okay.
and starting a family?
Okay, so first of all, I don't think that you should be thinking about settling down and having a family. I think in order for a marriage to work, you gotta be in love with the person. Like don't be in love with the process. It's not gonna last, you know. So it's like you get a lot. Sometimes in this, women are under this kind of pressure because of the fact that there's their biological clock and they want to have children and so on and so forth. But what you have to understand is any woman that I've ever seen that just wants to get married, right? If they just want to get married, they don't end up married long because they have a particular ideology or particular, milestones that they need to get to, and they need to get to those, and they're basically just there's an option or a placeholder that they just stick a guy in, you know. I mean, I counseled a dude who had he had this woman who was like white dude. He was with this African chick, and she was going. I think she was in med school, and she said, "I want to do this, and I want to have my first kid by this time. And I want to move to Canada, and I want to do this." And none of it had to do with him. So what I think you have to take into consideration, and that you're trying to build in order to make a marriage work, you got to build the marriage and work at the marriage with the person that you think you're capable of having a marriage with, if that makes sense, you know. And if you just go, I think it's time, I think you're gonna make mistakes.
I see what you mean. So then let me rephrase the question in this way. What maybe questions should I be asking myself to determine whether or not I am ready for marriage, or what qualities should I be looking for in the other person as well,
Are
to
you
determine whether
dating?
they're.
Are you dating now?
I'm currently single. I've been single for about 5 years.
Have you been dating or no?
I've had a few dates. Yeah,
Okay, a few dates in 5 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta you need a consultation yesterday. There's
Yeah,
no way
well,
you
I
should wait.
think.
Listen to me. There's no way you should be 30 years
Mhm.
old and not have the company of women unless you don't like the company of women. I mean, if you're a solo dude who don't like a woman around, that's one thing. I mean, you can go ice fishing and and hunt and camp and eat bugs and berries. But I'm saying
Yeah.
if you have an aspect of this where you're not dating somebody and you're 30 years old and you're going, oh, I need to get a wife, you are set up for failure because first thing is that there is an emotional. I don't know if you've ever heard me say this, but you cannot let emotion have a seat at the table.
Mm.
And if you have this kind of social or intimate pressure to do something by this particular time, then what you're going to do is you're going to overlook the mistakes and the problems that are for, and you're going to act like they're not there, and you're going to look past it, and then you're going to end up you end up in a shitty situation where you're going to have kids, and you're not going to be with them, you're not going to be with the girl, and you're not going to be happy, and it ain't going to be
Mhm.
good. Big shout to my
Yeah.
dog team, Darren. Darren, what's up, D? Talk to me, baby. Give me a call when you get a chance. Um, so you have this idea that you think that this should happen, but you're not even doing um uh you're not even doing a thing. You're not even doing the thing that you need to be. You're not even out there dating. And the only way you're gonna learn how to do um your feet ain't even wet. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and and you trying to land. You don't got a boat, a fishing rod, nothing, and you're trying to figure out some nonsense that is so far behind it. When I take a guy on and I start doing consultations and we start laying the 5 bricks and I start talking about the things and they'll be like, "Oh, I met this girl and I got her number," and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't really care," because all you're gonna do
Yeah.
is fuck that up anyway. There takes
Eh,
a
yeah.
lot of time and effort. It's a skill set that you have to learn. And if you don't learn it, right, you gotta learn every
Yeah.
aspect. I'm still learning it,
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah.
I have a great co-parenting thing with my wife because I don't engage in the nonsense. I mean, I don't let emotion kind of dictate what my thinking is, and I don't let people peer pressure me and whatnot. And I also understand what's good for me and what's not good for me and what I expect and what I don't expect. And the minute that I don't like something, I speak up, and that it takes a certain level of confidence and a certain level of savvy that you have to having relationships and dating and stuff that gives you the ability to stand up and say, "I don't like that. Don't do
Yeah.
that to me." And if you don't have
So,
that, if you go in 5 years and you're not even doing that, uh, you have a problem. You have a problem.
okay.
Okay?
So here's where you teach ACE, right? Authenticity, credibility, and empathy, right?
Yeah.
And uh, and I fully agree with that and support that. And in my particular situation, and maybe this is something we go into deeper in another call or something. In my particular situation, I consider myself a devout Christian.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know you have your opinions on that, and that's really fine.
Sure,
But
sure,
in terms
sure.
of
Sure.
yeah, in terms of like being authentic to myself and what I believe and how I should go about it, uh, in my sort of moral framework, casually dating and maybe casually dating isn't necessarily part of that, you know,
And
or even like hooking up.
you're going in blind and you're gonna make
Hmm.
mistakes. And the chances are you're gonna make mistakes.
Yeah,
Let me
and
ask
that's
you,
so
why is that not a thing? Why can't you date?
it's not so much that I can't date, but it's more like dating with the intent of moving forward with marriage. And so it's sort of the process is more or less like courting, dating, marriage,
Yeah, but what if
and
you're
what
courting
happens.
and then you're able to see the red flags?
Then yeah, in all fairness, I would call it off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you have to do it to understand that is something that needs to be done. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Shout out to Kyle Brown. Thank you for the $10, brother. There's no way. Listen, I mean, I know you have your belief system. I mean, we could get into why you believe that or why you don't believe that or whatever. I
Yeah.
don't think that the Bible says anything about dating or whatever. Maybe
Yeah.
it talks about sex, but I mean, let's be honest. I mean, do you read your Bible or no?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, God actually had what you call it, wives raped. David's wives raped, right?
Mm.
Am I wrong or no?
I have to look back into that. Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about is David and Bathsheba. He looked upon Bathsheba, and
Yeah.
and Bathsheba. He had a baby with Bathsheba, and then God killed off the baby, and then took David's wives, plural. I believe it was
Correct.
10
Yeah.
of his wives, and had his wives raped in public. Is that
Mhm.
not part of the book?
Yeah. Everything you're accurate about everything. I'm not entirely sure about the last part. So
Which
I'm
part?
not
Which
saying you're
last
wrong.
part?
I'm just saying the last part. You saying that they were actually abused. I don't want to
Well,
use the
he
word on
says,
your channel.
well, God punishes him for
Yeah.
coveting with the guy's wife, and then I forget the guy's name. But what he says is, I will take your wives and have them be done to them what you have done in secret. Read the. I mean, if I'm wrong, call me Tuesday and correct me. But my
Okay.
understanding is, and God didn't ask these women, well, do you want to sleep with other people? No, because in the Bible these women were possessions. They were
Mhm.
his wives. And so because he slept with somebody else, he had his wives. I think the terminology, his wives were taken by other men in public so that all could see. Check the things. What I'm saying is, this is the thing. You can't cherry pick this. What I want to get to the point is this. You're not going to know how to do a relationship if you don't do relationships. And you can't
Mhm.
learn it from somebody who hasn't done it. And even if I tell you how to do it, if you're not actively in relationships, I mean, I guess you could have relationships where sex is not involved or you abstain. But understand something.
Mhm.
Understand this as well. If you're not fucking, you don't know how to fuck.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, we're just talking about basic logic. You only get good
Yeah.
at something. You only get good at something
If you
that you
practice.
practice, right? And if
Yeah. Right.
your religion doesn't allow you to practice in not just the physicality of it, but just the social aspect of it, how can you be good at it?
Yeah. No, I can understand that for sure.
Now, under the
But
guise of religion, there is a certain like for instance, like if you look at the Mormons, you get guys will have 2 and 3 wives. But the reason why they have 2 or 3 wives is because it's not that they got the game for 2 or 3 wives. It's just that there's a whole social construct that keeps the women in their place so that the women don't feel as though that they can make their own decisions.
Yeah. So, I mean, I totally understand where you're coming from, right? And we obviously disagree with each other on some fundamental things here, but nonetheless, I totally agree with you when
I'm
it comes to
curious.
being.
What do we disagree? Do you not agree that you need practice in order to do something well?
I do agree with you on that, but I agree with you that you need practice. For example, with sex, that you need practice in order to get good at it.
And relationships.
Yeah, and relationships as well, right?
What do you do
I agree
what do
with
you do for
that.
a living? What do you do for a living?
I work in live production, like events,
Okay.
AV, let's say. Yeah.
I have a guy who I consult on. He does huge. I think he does South by Southwest and stuff like that. But the bottom line is,
Yeah.
I talked to him about how he puts these live events together. And
Yeah.
the only reason why he can do these live events is because he started with smaller ones and he built up to larger ones. And then you almost get this thing. I'm quite sure you're good at. I mean, you sound like you're good at what you do, but there are
Mhm.
there's a nuance to that stuff that I just would, no matter how smart I am and what my experience. I mean, I have the ability to kind of see where the pieces fit. But you doing it probably you have you have an intuitiveness about doing live events that and nobody who's ever not done it can't hold a
Mhm.
candle to you.
Mhm.
It's just logic.
Yes.
So I mean, I think that you can do this. You can date within the confines of whatever your religion says or whatever. And if you're not gonna have sex, then I mean, whatever parameters that. I mean, do a consultation with me. We'll figure out where that line is and what you're comfortable
Yeah.
with. Because I don't have a problem with that, working it out with you. But the bottom line is, you need as much practice as you can. Everybody knows that I've been doing this live. One of the dudes who consults with me he's in I think Dubai, or I'm not sure, but he's like, it's an arranged marriage, and we
Yeah.
kind of came up with a strategy on how he could pick a better woman, or how he could
Mhm.
do this without, because in their arranged marriage, there's no dating at all. It's like
Yeah.
there's a couple of meetings, the parents have a thing, you ask the questions, and then you do it.
Yeah. So, if you don't mind me asking, in a situation like that, what is something? How did you advise that
Well, the
person?
first thing we did was we had to define what makes him happy. What is he looking for? And he had
Mm.
to also, I think what was really important for him was to understand that to look at the parents. Look at what the parents' relationship is. Was the parents in a loving relationship? Or was the mother overbearing and the husband was just trying to keep the peace? Or can he speak up? Could he talk? Could he speak up in the situation? What's the kind what is the kind thing that women do when they're not asked?
Mm.
To the same thing I would
Okay.
say to women. If you're a woman that likes flowers and little special things, if a guy don't give you look, if a guy don't give you flowers, it's because he don't want to give you flowers. Now, there's always a possibility that he might the logistics of it, he might not know any better, right?
Yeah.
But once
Yeah.
he knows better, if he doesn't execute, it's because he don't want to. And trust me, you're not
Right.
gonna make them. Just
Right.
like if you got a girl and she's not considerate and she's selfish and she's like the sky is falling every time something happens. It's everything. That's who she's gonna be. Now you got to decide whether or not you want to be in a relationship. You want to be in a relationship with Chicken Little, you know, because you're gonna
Mhm.
have a woman who selectively is gonna find trouble with anything that you do and everything that's going around her, and she looks at everything as the grass is always greener. I'm not getting enough, and she's also selfish because she doesn't have the
Mm.
time to appreciate the fact that you are doing things.
Yeah. So, from what I'm getting, the first point you made was fall in love with the person and not the process,
Exactly.
right? And then going from there is practice makes you good at really anything, but practicing something makes you good or better at something else,
At anything else.
and then at anything else.
And
And
you gotta ask yourself these questions about what do I really like?
yeah.
If you gotta look, I have a chick that I've dated from the past, love her to death, but she's super
Mhm.
religious.
Yeah.
I mean, not so religious that we wasn't fucking, because I would never. I was like that just that just ain't in the. But the fact that
Sure.
she's trying to shove religion and Bible quotes at it was the downfall. Is basically why I don't speak to her,
Yeah.
because she doesn't respect my point of view.
Right. Right. And I totally respect where you're coming from. And I guess my reason for calling is less on in any way trying to disagree, but more like being authentic to myself, right? With that key principle in mind,
Yeah.
being authentic to that, what would maybe that look like in my context,
We got
right?
it, but
And so,
man, I would have to we
yeah,
have to sit down. You do a consultation, and we'll figure it out, and we'll work it out
yeah,
in the framework of what you. Because it's just questions I would ask you. You know,
right, right. 'Cause, for example, like having sex before marriage would be inauthentic to my process, right? And that would violate the first principle
okay,
in
all right,
of being
but now
authentic,
you got to
right?
find a woman who is gonna have these dates with you and spend time with you platonically, and that you're gonna have to expect that, and there's no there's no anticipation or any anticipation for sex. It's just you have to deal with church girls, but you gotta have to date them. I don't care what you got to do.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah.
you're gonna have to do things with them in the context and find out who they are and find out if they're compatible, whether you sleep with them or not.
Right.
And
Right.
here's the crazy thing: even with the arranged marriages, my boy, one of the dudes I was working with, he got a great girl, but she's not sexual. So now they're
Yeah. Right.
married, and she's just not a sexual being. So now
Yeah. And
he wants her to initiate sex, and she wants this, and she just ain't, like she's a virgin. He's getting ready to marry her. She's a virgin, but she ain't no freak, and he wants his wife to be a freak. Well, then you got to
yeah.
ask those questions. And here's the thing: even with that, people, what you think is freaky ain't what she thinks is freaky. What you think is a high sex drive is not. You got to have these conversations, and you got to not commit your time and your energy to somebody who's not willing to have those conversations, and who's not willing to meet you where you want to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, you got to, at least you got to be around people. You can't go 5 years and then go, oh, it's time for me to get a wife. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I appreciate that. Yeah. And
And
I
I'll tell
totally
you, I
understand
don't
where you're
care
coming from.
how religious they are. Get in that divorce situation where she don't want to be with you, and you'll see how Christian she is.
Right. Right.
All that shit will go
Yeah.
right down the tube. So you got to be
Yeah.
with people who are kind, and watch how they are with other people.
Mm.
One of the things that I can say, even with my son's mother, is I had checked. She was an amazing mom, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We would go to a party, and somebody's little girl or little daughter would wake up because we was partying at a house party, and she would spend the time with the little kid.
Yeah.
She wasn't
Mm-hmm.
drinking or smoking, and she loved little kids. The difference was, here's where I made a mistake, and I make mistakes too. I thought
Mm-hmm.
that a good mother means a great wife,
Mm.
and a good mother doesn't make a great wife. A good mother
Okay.
and a great wife is as different as somebody who builds cars and somebody who races cars. Total different job. You understand?
Okay. So if you don't mind me asking you, pinpointing on that, what, in your opinion, makes a great wife? What are the signs and little things that you're looking for?
That's something that you have to figure out. Like I wanted somebody who uh well, I mean, I can't say she doesn't appreciate what I do, but I wanted uh somebody who maintained the same respect for my opinions when I met her as once we got married. And
Okay.
once we got married, it was like I don't know what I'm talking about. Like
Mm.
she literally, my wife tracked me down from England. She was a fan of the podcast, and she came and found me. I wasn't looking for her. But the
Right.
minute we got married, then I don't know what I'm talking about. I have no idea. Like I was the voice of reason the whole time. And I mean, like there's some parts of that is, I'm not saying that part of that is my problem because I'm such a big personality, and this is something that I've learned. It ain't easy being with me. I'm a lot.
Yeah.
And not a lot in terms of abusive and not considerate, but I speak my mind, I'm honest, I'm upfront, and people gravitate to me in a way that's a lot if you not, if you want to be in the limelight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not being in the
Mm.
limelight, you know what I'm saying? Like Mike, what do you think Michael Jordan's wife, she got to deal with the fact that she's Michael Jordan's wife, and I don't even know what her name is. You know what I mean? Like you got to be
Right. Right.
okay with that.
Mm. And so how do you look for that before marriage?
You
How do
don't
you look for this shit?
you be who you are and you observe what they're doing. Big shout out to Kyle Brown. Thank you for the cash out, bro. You gotta like you people react to it. It's just like, like I always say this, I hate mint chocolate ice cream, right?
Mhm.
If you give me a spoonful of mint chocolate, you're gonna know immediately that this is something I don't like.
Yeah.
The thing is, the same stuff happens when we're in relationships. It all comes out in the wash.
Mm.
It don't come out in the wash, comes out in the rinse. You can see, but if you are so bent on getting a wife or going through the process, trust me, you're gonna miss the red flags that are there. Okay?
Okay. Yeah. And I appreciate that. I think that
But
sounds
do a consultation.
that
We'll
sounds
figure
good.
it out, and then we can figure out specifics because you may not know what questions to ask yourself. Okay?
Right.
And then it'll at
Okay, I
least give
appreciate
you
your time.
a base level where you can move from. Okay?
Right.
All
Well,
right,
I
brother.
appreciate your time, Dante. You have a good night, brother.
All right,
Appreciate
good
you.
night, bro.
Yeah.
All right, phone lines are open. I'm gonna take one more call. If not, I'm gonna shut this down. I've been live for an hour and 46 minutes, running my mouth. Phone lines are open. I am ready to go to bed. Thank y'all all for coming. I got a question. So, and anybody who's on the live right now, think about it. I'm thinking about rebranding the name from Man School to something else, a name for the podcast, because I want to make it more inclusive. No, I don't believe in the Lord. Penny.
Awesome.
Andrew Aguilar.
Accept.
Andrew, what's up?
Hey, what up, Dante?
What's going on, brother? How are you?
Dan, I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. How can I help you, bro?
I'm not. Just want to say real quick, long-time listeners, Patrice was the OG. I see how things are moving along and how state
Yeah,
isn't the best way to go with these participators.
yeah.
My thing is, so goes deep, but real quick, I got a girl. She's kind of a communist. She's a comrade. I've been in this relationship for a long time.
How long is long?
Oh, long is like 7, 8
Okay.
years.
So what's the problem?
The problem is, I just lost my job. And when she met me, I had a house. She was coming over on the lunchtime to do her thing. And
Wait, she was coming over. Y'all were having sex in the house. That's what you mean?
well, so she would come by just to shut me up, just to get me re-energized on lunch to go back to work in my own house. But now I'm over here, homeless, jobless, living in her apartment, doing all this shit.
And how long has that been going on? Matt, no Godfrey tonight. Godfrey's out of town.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, I don't know what that means, but I can guarantee Godfrey would probably bang on me for that.
No. I'm just telling somebody in the comments asking me if not Godfrey's show was going online. But what I'm saying is, how long have you been in this situation, homeless, living with her, and everything else?
Well, I just only recently lost my job like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, and so she's not down for you. Is she giving you a hard time because you hit a little bump in the road?
So I also like to hit the bottle sometimes.
Okay, so and
that really disturbs me.
And that is a problem. Why?
I don't know what it would be like if I didn't do that.
Huh?
I don't know what it would be like if I didn't do that.
You don't know what would be like if you didn't do that.
Like how clear her energy would be. I got an idea because, like I said, I was back
I had my own house.
Okay,
I had
stop,
my
stop,
own
stop.
place.
You said that. You said that. But does she not like you hitting the bottle?
Oh, she hates it.
Okay, so if she hates you not hitting the bottle, were you hitting the bottle the whole time?
I was. Low
Okay,
key, I
so but you were
was.
hitting the
Yeah.
bottle, but you had a house and you had your. Do you now? If you were her, and you were looking at the fact that you lost your job, you're living with her, and you're hitting the bottle, that could be.
How would I feel about me?
How would you feel about that?
How would I feel about me?
If you were in her position,
I'd be pissed. I'd be normal, just like
then
you
you're
are. Normal reaction.
then what is the question? What a question you're asking me, because you already know the answer. You gotta stop hitting the bottle. You gotta get your shit together. You gotta get your job. You gotta get your things together so that she can respect you. The longer you stay there, the less she's gonna respect you, and eventually she's gonna resent you for everything. And maybe she can overlook the hitting the bottle because of the fact that you had a house and this, but you ain't got no house now. Now you homeless, living with her and hitting the bottle. So you already know the answer to this, don't you?
I do. I do.
So then my question to you is, what are you doing to fix that? What are you doing to move forward? Never mind. Don't answer. If you gotta, stop. If you gotta go, then you don't have a plan in place, and you're not working on the plan in place. If you're not working on the plan in place, this relationship.
The thing is, right before, so my grandpa died recently, and right before that happened, I told the nurse in his waiting room all of my dreams, and she was like, "Why aren't you doing this?" And the only thing that came back to my mind was the fact that I don't have support where I'm at. I don't. She's not doing it for me.
Okay. First of all, no guy is gonna reach success based on the support on a woman. You got to do it on your own. If you meet
100%.
somebody who's supporting you, and that's gravy on
That's
the
a
potatoes.
blessing.
But
No doubt.
that's not what you get.
That's a gravy on it.
Because here's the bottom line: if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you have the particular endeavors, and you're not executing, you know you ain't shit. This is what I mean when I say, when you laying on the bed and the shadow from the ceiling fan is whipping across your face, it's just you. And you know you ain't shit. You know when you didn't get up. You know when you didn't do what you were supposed to do. And then on top of that, you hitting the bottle, which is just you self-medicating because you don't like you. And the only way you're gonna like you and have confidence to move forward is you got to do something to get the confidence.
She's not gonna like me, and she's gonna make it more difficult for me on the way out.
Yeah, well,
because I'm out here looking after myself.
Listen,
you know what that's like. I mean, it's a dangerous situation.
No, it's not a dangerous situation. You put this situation. You knew that she didn't like the bottle. I'm not saying you could not have a drink, but when you say I like the bottle, what you mean is what you're saying. In essence, you're communicating that this is excessive.
It is. That's
okay,
the reason why I told you.
In what situation are you doing something excessive and it's not bad for you?
No situation.
Okay. So that's one. That's the first thing. You got to deal with that first. Second of all, if you're self-medicating because you're not doing what you need to do. So even when you talk about yourself being down and out and whatever, you ain't even moving forward.
So let me ask you though, because like I said, I mean, let me just close this sliding glass door just because I don't want to hear me because I might get beat. Not really, but I'm 6'4", 300 pounds. It seems like when I start to grow or start to want to manifest anything or start to try to diet.
Stop. I don't want to go. Stop. I cannot hear a man.
You know I'm going.
Stop. I cannot hear a man say manifest. There's no such thing as manifest. There is you putting boots on the ground, doing what you need to get to where you want to get. If you're not doing that, there's no such thing as
Okay.
manifest. I'm going to tell you something that's crazy. And most people won't tell you this. Inspiration doesn't matter. You don't even have to be inspired.
Motivation is part of the devil. Sure.
I mean, I don't know what you mean by that, but I'm going to tell you this. When I tell a guy to lay the 5 bricks and he tells me it's I didn't do it because of this, I go, I don't care, dude. This is your life. You either want your life to be.
When I cook
Listen to
chicken
me.
and rice,
You're
and
talking
she
over me.
brings Burger
You're
King,
talking over me.
she brings Burger King,
You are
knowing that I just
talking
did
over
chicken and
me.
rice.
You're talking over me. If you want this to be different, if you want to feel different about this, you got to get up off your ass. You got to leave the bottle alone, and you got to do the work. There's no such thing as a manifestation. There's no such. It's you picking up your one foot, putting it one foot in the other.
You know what? I don't even know why I said manifest because
But
I never use that.
I know why you said it because you're trying to. You're framing it as if it's something mystical, and it's not. You know that. How do I know that you're drinking excessively? Because you told me.
Because I said a little bit of this.
How do I know you're not doing what you're supposed to do? Because you told me. You understand?
So when this is my last spot, and I talk too loudly because I'm so hyped on something that I'm getting onto, and she just tells me get the hell out because I don't like what you just told me or whatever you just suggested. What the hell do I do then?
Well, here's what you got. Here's what you have to understand. For one thing, without a doubt, is this: if you're in a situation where somebody's abusive, you're probably not going to be with this woman.
Is that abusive?
Of course it is. If you're saying this is what I'm doing and she's knocking it, then it's abusive. So it probably means you're not going to be with her anyway. But if you have a roof over your head, you better stop fucking around and hitting the bottle and fucking around and wasting time because it's only a matter of time till she puts you out.
Yep.
So you can play, get high, hang out, talk about manifestation, play with light candles and play with crystals. I'm teasing you.
That's funny because I used to do that a lot when I had a house.
And I'm just saying that if you don't put the work together, I want you to understand that the clock is ticking. The time bomb is ticking.
It really is.
And so you can play around if you want to, but you'll be homeless in a shelter. At least you got at her house and you got a roof over you. That is going to change soon.
See, it always seems like I'm walking that line where I gotta do what she says and just accommodate her. And then I also try on the other side, maybe I gotta do it more of the flip side.
Yeah, but you're not doing You're not doing what you're supposed to do for you. And you're right, Trixie, go to rehab. Go to rehab. They're saying that they go to rehab, get your shit together. But all of this peripheral shit you're talking, all of this talking you're doing is talking so that you don't have to do what you know you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Okay? Get it together. Keep listening, all right?
Oh, always.
All right, brother. All right, brother. I would like it if I'm trying to rebrand it to make everything to make the name. I know we call it Man School, but if you can, man, hit me on the gram and stuff. Come up with a few ideas of how I can rename the show. Let me just say this. I want the show to have my name and it'd be Dante's whatever, or such and such relationships with whatever it is. Y'all can send stuff and send it on my Instagram. Hold on, I'm gonna take this last call. I'm trying to get off, but
Awesome.
Levi.
Levi, what's poppin'?
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on? How can I help you, bro?
I don't know. Truth is, I've been doing pretty good in life nowadays, and compared to where I've been before, and in dating and in the principles, things like that. I do get
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I do screw up a lot though. Like I don't know what I'm doing. I try to be like somebody who, um, I don't know. I just try my best in like dates and stuff like that, or relationships. Like right now, I'm in a relationship, but a lot of the times I feel like I think aloud, I think out loud, and I learn through the process of. So I got pretty much screwing up, and I don't know. I guess saying it out loud sounds kind of stupid, but I don't like that because I do screw up all the time. I feel pretty stupid sometimes.
Well, you understand that everybody grows. We all grow from making mistakes,
Yeah.
and that's just part of it. And part of the learning process is that you have to um you have to make mistakes, and you got to be okay with the mistakes. I mean, I'm a person who welcomes the mistakes. I mean, I'm not trying to make mistakes, but I welcome them, and I'm always, what have I learned from this, uh and how can I make this better? You know? And
Yeah.
if you can't, you have to get comfortable with that. I know that's not always so easy to do, but you really don't have a choice, because trust me, you're gonna make mistakes. I don't care what happens, you're gonna make mistakes.
Yeah.
But
I'm the type of guy who makes take mistakes sometimes.
yeah, but are you learning from the mistakes is really the point.
I think so. I keep track of them. I'm aware. I guess sometimes I get it. I guess I get tired of it, but I do just yeah, I do learn from them.
Okay, well then you're doing well. How old are you?
I'm turning 24 soon.
Oh, baby, you're a kid. Don't worry about it. You're doing good.
Thanks, man.
If you're listening to this show and you're learning stuff, you're making stuff, making mistakes, you have to understand something. If I'm a grandmaster in chess and I ask you to play chess and then I checkmate you in 3 or 4 moves, right? And if I yell at you because you suck at chess, you would say to me, "I don't play though," right?
Mhm.
You go, "Oh, I've only played like 3 times. I don't really play. I don't." There's nothing wrong with you making mistakes. The point is, when and you're young, which is great, which means you're on the track anyway. But the only way you learn you gotta put yourself out there. You gotta try to do the right thing and use your logic and remove all these principles. Is practicing ACE, being authentic, being credible, being empathetic. That's at the core. Not letting emotion have a seat at the table. Um, being honest, not just with yourself, but with the people around you, so that people know where you stand. And if you just practice those things to start, and when you don't get crazy about the mistakes that you make, because you're not supposed to be good at this. You're not supposed to
Mhm.
be good at anything that you haven't practiced and haven't trained, and that's why the show is important, because I'm coaching you. I'm here to coach you. Okay, so you keep listening, and I'll keep coaching. And when
Funny,
you got
man.
problems, you call in, and if you ever get it together where you want to have a consultation, go to DanteNero.com, click on consult. We'll do a one-on-one, and we'll do a deep dive and see what's really going on. That's DanteNero.com. Click on consult. Um, Also, if you want, there's a lot of stuff we do with the on the Patreon. The Patreon is Manschool, www.patreon.com. That's Manschool 202. We do all the back content if you're not getting enough. But even if you just start out just practicing ACE, that is going to put you ahead of everybody else.
That brings me to first off, I appreciate it. It does make me feel better. Just hearing that, so I'm gonna keep doing that. But it brings me into, I guess, something that I have struggled with, which was like somebody brought this up, like casual dating. I didn't really know how to do it earlier this year. I guess I
Nobody knows how
started.
to do it.
It's kind of weird, and I'm communicating very strongly. So here's the mix up. Like I grew up religious Jewish, and it's very important to marry
Mhm.
a Jewish girl, but I'm in America, and there's lots
Are
of
you
Jews here,
still
but
are you still very orthodox?
I'm not, but I'd rather. see, here's the funny thing. Like, okay, I want to marry a Jewish girl for the convenience of my family, and also I do like the culture, and I don't really want to break the chain. But like, I also have come to enjoy the process of laying bricks, and then maybe getting girls' numbers and dating them. It's exciting. It's normal. I don't really want to. I've never liked. I didn't like that aspect of how I grew up separate from anyone.
Let
So
me. I want to explain something to you. This is
yeah.
your life, okay? And what we have, a lot of times we have parents that are traditional and they want you to do this. They live their life. Don't let somebody else make your choices for you.
What about my kids though? They won't have this like the years of ever thousands of years back. My mom was Jewish, like
Okay.
and
And what does that have to do with your day to day when you're laying bricks?
absolutely nothing.
Okay. So what I'm saying is you can still expose your children to the culture, but here's the thing, dog. Your kids gonna do what they want to do unless you force them to do what you want them to do, which is going to end up fucking them up the same way you got fucked up.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay. So don't repeat it. I mean, we just talked about learning from the mistakes and growing and doing better.
Okay.
Most of our parents, I mean, there's maybe a few that not, but most of our parents suck as parents. Most of us are out of a situation where, they did what their parents did to them and we, figured it out and whatever and hope for the best. And the bottom line with any of this is that no matter what happens, right, you got to live with the decisions that you make. And the worst thing in the world has always been for me is to make decisions for other people, right? And then I end up still in a shitty situation.
Ooh, that sounds like a nightmare.
So I did
yeah.
what everybody wanted me to do, and then I'm still unhappy.
hmm hmm Oh man, yeah, I don't want that to be me. Yeah, so I guess well, what's interesting is I guess my experience with dating has been like I had trouble communicating. Like, okay, it's possible for women to convert, right? But the chances are it's so difficult, and it takes like they would have to really like me over years. And what's funny is
But if you don't learn how to be likable, how's somebody gonna like you enough to want to convert?
no, I definitely
And
had that, but
I really don't know. I mean, it's weird. It's a weird kind of thing. I mean, do you really want somebody who doesn't have her own identity?
no. She can have that. I want her to have her own
Well,
identity
yeah,
for
but
sure.
if she has her own identity and then you're asking her to convert because you have this idea about this Jewish history and then you like, you know,
That's an excellent point. So how would I go about dating somebody? Well, and here's what I discovered was that I would first date people and I'd be like, I'm just interested in like sexual exploration, which and I'm being authentic. I would bring that up fast,
but that's
and not
not
leading anybody on.
necessarily true.
It's true, yeah. It's
No,
not
no,
necessarily
it's
true.
not because okay, here's the scenario. Let's
Okay.
say you had a girlfriend, you met this girl, she loved you to death, she wanted you to be happy, she wanted you to do everything that she could possibly do to make you happy. And you said, but I still want to date for sexual exploitation. And she goes, that's fine. It's just whenever you're ready to see me, then come see me. What would you do?
Um, Shoot. Well, I don't know.
It's
One
okay.
girl I
It's
said
okay
yes
if you
to.
say marry her.
Well, yeah, they got
What
me
I'm
back.
saying is your
Yeah.
assumption. Well, my point I'm making is that you're making an assumption that women want something that a woman wants something that she may not want, and you can't really do that.
So how should I? I don't want it to be like multiple dates in, and then I'm like, well, I'm pretty, if I was in a relationship with someone and she satisfied me in every way, we were so happy, and she wasn't Jewish, I would consider maybe no. But like, how would I bring it up on somebody being like,
I think it comes up when you want it to come up. When you realize that this person is just a sexual thing. And listen, you would get married to a woman who does the things that make you happy. Am I
Yeah.
wrong about that?
You're not.
And you're
I
not gonna know that this woman is not that until you actually are dating.
okay. That's true. I
Here's
think
the
I've
thing I'm most
sabotaged.
worried about with you
Yeah.
is that this Jewish thing is gonna derail everything, and you're gonna live your life for somebody else, for some cultural shit, and then you're gonna be miserable.
Maybe over the past couple months
guarantee,
it
I
happened.
guarantee that your family members are not happy. Guarantee it.
I don't know. Here's what I have done. It has like over the past couple months, dates that I've been on, I've been so anxious to make sure that people don't know that I've almost told girls, I've pretty much told girls that I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure it out, and like
Which is
I didn't want them
which
to
is
think I was leaving.
true.
This is what I think.
Which is true.
It's true, but I think I blew a lot of people off with my like.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
because
girls
you're jumping
like
the
some
gun.
sort of
Do
assurance.
you
They
think
wanted
that
some sort of
do
assurance.
you honestly think that every girl that dates you wants to marry you?
Shoot, I think that's how I was going into these dates. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but they don't. They don't like you
That's
that
true.
much. Relax. Get over
Okay.
yourself. Nobody likes you that much. Every time every girl meets you, they don't want to marry you.
You're right. Okay, I think that is something I have to internalize because I would blow up the first date. I would bring up things, and this is where I felt stupid because anytime I say this to anyone, they're like, "What are you doing on the first date?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to be honest and real. Really, truth is, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, and I'm just scared of hurting somebody's feelings or lying to them. So I think I just overtalk.
You're not hurting somebody's feelings if you're telling them the truth. But you also don't have to tell them about the boil that you got on your ass. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're get to know people, enjoy yourself, enjoy people's company, and if if things escalate in a way that make you, where you start to look at them different, then you can have a conversation. But they didn't ask you to get married. How do you know they just didn't want to fuck you?
That's a good point. I just assume not, but
Yeah, nobody likes you that much. Trust me.
Mhm.
Everybody put it like I don't mean it like that, but everybody
Yeah.
don't like you.
No, I need to. Yeah, I guess I do come into. Yeah.
This is a real inflated sense of self, right? For somebody who's just trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay.
Okay, thank you as always. I really appreciate it.
All right, brother. Appreciate you.
Have a good night.
Have a good night. Yeah, that's like I have a friend of mine who's homophobic. He be like, I don't want to be around them gays. I'm like, dog, they don't want you. Nobody wants your ugly ass. Relax. You jumping the gun. Yo, thank y'all so for coming in, man. This was a really great live. I appreciate everybody. We had a bunch of motherfuckers in the live and everything, and the chat was done. Thank you for the Cash App. The Cash App is up there if y'all want to give me a little something, whatever. Don't forget the one-on-one consultation is DanteNero.com. Click on consult. Don't forget the Patreon. The Patreon is Manschool202. Patreon.com/Manschool202. I love y'all, man. We'll be live next Tuesday, definitely. If not, I might go live Sunday. So look for me. And get at me, man. I love y'all, man. GYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, What Would Dante Do? The Sexual Revolution, be a podcaster. I love y'all, man. Peace.